जी, अवनीश, मेरा सवाल आपसे है। आप मुझे नहीं जानते हैं, लेकिन मैं भी किसी न किसी तरह आपके परिवार से कनेक्टेड हूँ। जो सूरज जी की फिल्म थी मैंने प्यार किया, उसके सारे गाने, मतलब उसके काफ़ी गाने जो थे, मेरे फादर इन लॉ असद भोपाली साहब ने लिखे थे। जी, एक मतलब जिसको फिल्म फेयर अवार्ड भी मिला था। तो वो एक लव स्टोरी थी और राजश्री की एक परंपरा है जो प्यार को, रिश्तों को, संस्कृति को, परिवार को जिस तरह से दिखाने की। तो मैंने प्यार किया में एक डायलॉग था कि लड़का लड़की कभी दोस्त नहीं हो सकते। जी, तो मैं ये चाह रही हूँ कि दोनों में ऐसा क्या है जो एक होता है ना कि एक प्यार को, क्योंकि ये बात अभी सूरज जी भी कह रहे थे, सनी जी भी कह रहे थे, सभी जानते हैं कि प्यार जो है अब वो एक रिलेशनशिप में तब्दील हो गया है। पहले हम कहते थे कि हम मोहब्बत में पड़े हैं, इश्क में पड़े हैं, लेकिन आप लड़का लड़की कहते हैं कि नहीं यार, मैं रिलेशनशिप में हूँ। तो आपने तब से लेके मैंने प्यार किया से लेके दोनों तक प्यार को कितना इवॉल्व या प्यार को किस अलग ढंग से पेश किया है, मैं ये आपसे जानना चाहूंगी।
Thank you for your question. And I mean, Asad Bhopali ji to is such a legend. It was an honor at Rajveer to, I mean, मैं पैदा नहीं था उस वक्त, but it was, I mean, his songs are still celebrated today. Ma'am, regarding love, you know, love is a very complicated thing. उस वक्त भी complicated ही था, इसलिए I think it connected with everyone in their own way. मैंने प्यार की देखता हूँ, बेताब देखता हूँ. So I still connect with those emotions even today, even though, like I said, I was not born at that time. So love has, I think, transcended time, has transcended all boundaries. And ma'am, Dono is also a love story. It also talks about the complications of love. You know, आज ये ज़माना आ गया है that today we as individuals have the ability to make decisions which maybe us, you know, our earlier generations were not able to. But बहुत बार ना हमारे खुद की जो अंदर की ये demons होते हैं, they start to talk, they start to act as roadblocks rather than पहले जो होता था मुगल आज़म के टाइम से. So ma'am, this film is about the complications that love can give and also the strength that love can give. And we just try to go about it and tell a story about love in different ways. You know, जैसे हमारे ट्रेलर में दिखाया गया है, love happens multiple times in life sometimes, and sometimes you need closure, sometimes you have to move on. And this is the story of two people. इन दोनों की अलग अलग प्रेम कहानियाँ हैं, किस तरह ये दोनों कहानियाँ आके जुड़ जाती हैं. That's what Dono is about.
Hi, straight here. So I have a question. I think a lot of people will agree today, like you said, and like you beautifully portrayed. All of us are having issues with love and relationships, and the biggest issue is to deal with moving on. Closure is something that we often don't give so much importance to, but it's possibly the most important thing to move on to another chapter, like you said. In real life, has it ever been difficult for you guys to move on from anything and find closure?
I think all of us find closure in our own time and space. It just hits you randomly and it gradually, you learn from it. And I mean, every second, no matter how old you are, there's a closure that you chase for something that you feel complete for. And this movie really, really talks about that. And it shows the character's journey that I portrayed in the movie that I'm so blessed to be. So yeah, closure is something, you can't really describe it, it's a feeling. And once it hits you, you feel like you found the final piece to the puzzle. And you can see the whole picture and you go like, what an idiot. I'm such an idiot. Anybody else?
I don't think we could give a better answer than that. No, yeah, that's pretty much it. Closure is such an important concept. I don't think it gets talked about enough. That's why when we were working on this subject, you know, we thought that it could be something that could be a special story, and you know, we could really do justice to this aspect of it. It's an important thing which doesn't get talked about a lot. I hope after this film, someone might pick up something from here and it might help someone.
Hi, this is Sohail over here from Ancient Bollywood. Avnish, you, Paloma, and Rajveer and the entire family and the team, a big congratulations. You know, the trailer is superb. You're looking very, you know, raw, कह सकते हैं हम, और बहुत ही natural लग रही है. जैसे लग रहा है कि वी कैन रिलेट, जैसे एट वन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम कि हाँ ये हमारे साथ क्या कभी हुआ था तो किसी के साथ हो रहा है। अवनीश, मैं जानना चाहूँगा जैसे कि बरजात्या फैमिली राजश्री की तरफ से जहाँ पर भी जो कल्चर को हमने बहुत मतलब तवज्जो देते हैं, पर आज की टाइम की जो लव स्टोरी है, तो कभी आपने आपके पापा से कहा था कि थोड़ी सी लिबर्टी आज के वक्त की स्टोरी, या कभी राजवीर या पलोमा ने कहा नहीं इस तरह से थोड़ा होना चाहिए, तो कुछ लिबर्टी आपने ली है?
It's a very loaded question. नहीं. To be very honest, like my father said earlier, यही बोला था कि make a film that's you. What do you think about love? What do you think about relationships? And what do you think about family? Rajshri has always made films. This I've heard from my seniors. Rajshri has always made films which my great grandfather had said, कि a film that I can see with my in-laws, with my elders. And I honestly believe कि आज जो मैं फिल्म अपने in-laws या अपने family के साथ देख सकता हूँ, I feel it's more progressive today, and I can see and talk about things that maybe my grandfather, my great grandfather couldn't discuss with his relatives. And that's honestly what this film is. It's a Rajshri film. I come from the Rajshri family. I don't think I can take that away from how I view the world. So to answer the question, it is today's story. But like I said, love transcends. It's been the same throughout. So there's some person who's pining for someone who needs closure. ये बरसों से हम देख ही रहे हैं. That's honestly.
I wanted to talk about Avnish, since you had asked him that question. He's so open-minded, honestly. I felt, even though he's been so thorough with his work, he was so prepared in every category, whether it was his sound or whether it was editing or whether it was on floors. But he was still so open-minded in general to take in any kind of creative collaboration. And it was so much fun working with him. So thank you for trusting me with Meghna, honestly, and giving me that chance.
Hi, Paloma.
What was the question again? Long answer. Yeah. Honestly, when I first heard the script, it was very fresh. It was extremely fresh. And Avnish was writing the script for about 4 years. So anything I would ask, he already had a counter to, because he must have thought about it like year 1 or year 2. So I felt stupid butting it. I'm like, this guy has done all his homework. And I had full faith and trust in him.
Avnish, Rajveer, Paloma.
Hi. Paloma, your mother, when she started with Noori, and from there to in her entire career, she has probably done one of the most iconic romantic roles. When you are picking up a film which is a romance, are you scared that you will be drawing comparisons? Probably one of the best performers you had in house itself.
I think it's natural. Comparisons are inevitable, definitely, when you're from such lineage. I think as newcomers, and we're all newcomers here, we can only hope that people like our work, people accept us, and we get more chances to prove ourselves. And I hope that we get the same love that our parents have gotten, and his family have gotten for years. I mean, eventually we will probably have to create our own identity, and I hope that happens.
Rajveer, Paloma, and Avnish here on the right. यहाँ पे Simran Singh here. बहुत स्वागत and congratulations to you guys and to your parents. This looks really promising and relatable. मेरा सवाल राजवीर पहले आपसे फिर अवनीश आपसे भी है. राजवीर, मेरा सवाल ये कि हमने जो लव स्टोरी देखी है तो एक बेताब राजवीर मैंने कहीं ना कहीं अर्जुन तो देखा है. So was there a deliberate attempt you want to start with a love story, because everyone will be like यार देओल फैमिली दा है तो फिर एक्शन पिक्चर तो आना चाहिए.
I mean, yeah, first perception is that I'll be beating up people and screaming. But when I heard the script, this was a character that I felt like was a character and not a hero. I felt like he was an individual I could really sink my teeth into, and I thought I could really, my skeleton was perfect to fit in his skin. So it was without a doubt. I don't really plan things, what movies I want to do. If I hear a script or a character I really like, and I was so lucky that I got to hear this, and Yeah, I'm just really blessed and lucky that this script came to me.
अवनीश, आपसे सवाल ये बनता है कि अभी आपके फादर साहब ने कहा कि जब ये मेरे पास आए तो मुझे लगा वो ये कहना चाहिए चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट बनना है. So अगर आप थोड़ा बता सके, when was the time when you actually found your interest in directing and you got inclined towards directing films and telling stories, taking forward the legacy of Rajveer production. अगर आप उसके बारे में कुछ कह सकते.
जी बिल्कुल. As a kid, I mean, I was मेरे grandfather रहे ने अभी राज बाबू, but he was my favorite human being. He was film producer. A lot of people might remember him. I would spend all my time with him. तो उनके साथ रह कर थोड़ा ये भी, and he used to take us everywhere. My grandmother passed away when we were very young. We became his life, my brother and I, all three of us. And he would take us everywhere. तो ये हो गया, बाबा जी की तरह film producer बनेंगे. So then my father said, ठीक है चलो, then you want to be film producer. बाबूजी हैं, दादाजी हैं यहाँ पे, तो CA करो, अच्छा ही है. But I don't know, as you grow older, you start to appreciate cinema as more than commerce. You start to appreciate cinema for the intricacies of story. कि एक scene के बाद ये scene क्यों आया, इस dialogue के बाद ये dialogue क्यों आया, इस moment के बाद ये moment क्यों आया. And I just started falling in love with that, as I was growing older. So when I went to my father, finally he said, "अरे भाई ये कहाँ से आ गया यार?" But no. So that's where it actually changed for me. You start to appreciate cinema as an art rather than business. And that's honestly what inspired me so much.
Hi Rajveer, Paloma और Barjatya. आप तीनों को बहुत बहुत स्वागत. मैं संजय मिश्रा हूँ नवभारत टाइम्स ऑनलाइन से, और ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं क्योंकि आज आपकी फिल्म का ट्रेलर रिलीज हुआ है. मैं राजवीर आपसे जानना चाहता हूँ कि आज आपकी दादी, मम्मी और धर्म जी ने क्या कहा आपसे?
वो obviously बहुत खुश थे. They told me, Rajveer, just be yourself. You're blessed with a good personality, and so they said, just be yourself. Don't try putting on a front. Don't look at your dad's image or try to be him, or your grandfather's, or your chachas. Just because you were raised well, and just be yourself, and that's it.
Hi, to your left. My name is Sonak from CNN News 18. My question is for Rajveer and Paloma. When was the first time you all thought that you all wanted to be in front of the camera? And what was the reaction in Rajveer's case from Sunny sir, and in Paloma in your case when you went up to Poonam ma'am and told? And was there anything that they spoke to you about being in this industry?
Growing up in a film background and everyone acting, and you thought this is how you got the bread home. Thought this is normal, everyone does this. When you grow up, you realize, now this is weird, this is very unique. So I was always influenced by movies. I always loved acting. I used to get a really good joy. I feel like you could really disguise yourself with a character because it's hard to be yourself. The advice they given me is just work hard, work on your craft, because don't try to be a star, try to be an actor first. Your characters will make you a star. So that's what I do from here, put my eyes down and I just work on my craft.
Hello.
Paloma, answer for the same question.
हेलो, मेरा नाम
एक मिनट मैम, मैं आ रहा हूँ आपके पास. जी, you'd like to answer?
Yeah, I think I'm very lucky because my parents have been damn supportive of anything that I do ever since I was a kid. Whatever hobbies I had, they would always encourage me to take some class, or even if it's painting, for example, during lockdown, mom would buy me paints and canvases to encourage my hobbies and all of that. So when I did decide to tell them that I'm very serious about this profession, I don't think they expected it, but obviously they expressed how difficult this line is and how much goes into into this craft and profession. But I hope I'm making them proud right now, and they've been like, I don't know how to explain. I get really emotional talking about how close we are. I'm sorry.
हेलो पलोमा जी, आरती सक्सेना. मेरा सवाल आपसे है कि पहले प्यार और ब्यूटी को भोलापन से, मतलब जैसे प्यार है तो उसको इनोसेंसी में माना जाता था और ब्यूटी को भी इनोसेंसी में माना जाता था. आज के टाइम में प्यार को रिलेशनशिप और इंटेलिजेंसी में माना जाता है. तो आप मतलब जो हीरोइन बन के आ रही है, तो आप अपनी मम्मी से कितनी डिफरेंट है? आपकी मम्मी ब्यूटीफुल भोली भाली थी, तो आप उनसे कितनी डिफरेंट है?
You know, that's so true about mom. Actually, in every film I have been in awe of her presence and her performances. She just charms up the screen, honestly, with her purity and positiveness, I think. What was the last part of the question? Sorry.
ब्यूटीफुल और भोली भाली थी, तो आप कैसे अपने आप को मतलब पेश करेंगे फिल्मों में?
I think, I hope कि मैं मेरा काम speaks for itself. Honestly, I hope कि मेरा खुद का identity eventually आ जाएगा. मैं I can only hope for that.
बाकी आरती जी बंदूक वाली फोटो तो गई थी, सर ने बताया, बताइए आपको जी।
राजवीर जी से सवाल है कि मतलब सनी जी ने जब शुरू किया था तो लव स्टोरी से शुरू किया, लेकिन उनकी जो इमेज थी वो एक्शन वाली थी। कुछ आप भी वैसे ही लग रहे हैं, तो मतलब आपका भोला भाला ही चेहरा है, लेकिन एक्शन है और लव कर रहे हैं, तो ये मतलब कैसे आगे बढ़ेगी गाड़ी?
Yes, I'll be yelling soon. Watching Dad, उनके सारे movies growing up, honestly, I just always wanted to beat evil and free the innocence from evil people. I actually wanted to join the army also after watching Dad's movie, because he used to just get me so charged up. I guess it's just in my bones and blood, and I couldn't escape it even if I tried a romantic movie. I guess it's just there.
और डांस भी आप सनी जी जितना ही करते हैं अच्छा?
I worked hard on the dance, and I was very carefree, and I hope I become number 2 in the family.
Avnish, yeah, on your left, yes. Avnish, Nitin introduced as Avnish Suraj Barjatya. Does the enormity hit you that Suraj Barjatya's son is making his debut as a director after 35 years? Does the enormity of Suraj Barjatya's son hit you?
Honestly, very honestly, I don't think there's any pressure, but what it is, it's a responsibility. I think, it's very important that that we made a film which lives up to the name and the legacy of not just my father, but also Sunny sir, Poonamji, the Rajshri, and the Rajshri brand. That responsibility was always there in the back of our head. We can't take this opportunity lightly. We have to make a good film. We have to make a film that we can be proud of, that they can all be proud of.
Hi Rajveer. Over here straight, towards your left. Hi. Standing over here. Rajveer, when Sunny ji had debuted, everybody expected him to continue the legacy of what Dharamji had built, which was the action, macho man, he-man avatar, and he did it splendidly. But those days, the audience kind of expected that. Do you think so now for the audience to wholeheartedly embrace a star kid, it's more important for you all to carve your own niche rather than continue that same legacy? Then you all get a better acceptance?
I agree with that. I think it's important to have your own individual stamp on this industry. Otherwise, they just expect you to follow your dad's traits, your grandfather's traits. So yeah, that's why I really like the subject when Avnish narrated it to me, because it was so different to what people would expect me to choose. They would choose to beat 100 people up, scream and have a big body and everything. But unfortunately, I was in love with the craft. I just love acting. So I noticed if I get typecasted in that, it's not a good idea for my first movie. So I think it's very important to have your individual stamp in this industry.
Yeah, hello. Hi, Shilpa here from Mayapuri magazine. जिस तरह से राजवीर आपके लिए सवाल है, जिस तरह से अवनीश जी के बारे में सूरज जी ने कहा कि वो कहीं ना कहीं चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट बनना चाहते थे, तो राजवीर इसके आपका किस तरह से रहा इसके बारे में अगर बात करें कि एक्टर भी बनना था या फिर कुछ और आपको कहीं जाना था, अगर बात करें?
Honestly, my parents hated the fact of becoming an actor. They always wished that I should have studied or done something else in this life, because this line is so unpredictable. You're happy for 1 second, you're miserable, you're not getting work. I mean, Dad got a hit after 22 years. So they were worried how mental, such a mentally draining line. And unfortunately, I just fell in love with acting. I just couldn't get enough of it. So yeah, even now they wish if I did something else and not this.
राजवीर on your left. Hi. राजवीर, आपका फेवरेट हीरो कौन है जिनसे आप बहुत इंस्पायर्ड होते हैं, जिनकी फिल्में आप बहुत देखते हैं?
Growing up, तो पापा थे, and even now, I mean, no one can do what he does. A lot of actors that also inspired me from Hollywood, from India. I mean, I suck at lists because I just always draw a blank. Like today, this person inspired me. Last week, it was someone else. I just suck at making lists.
So कभी ऐसा कोई दिन आ गया आपके पापा की गदर 3 और आप दोनों की कोई फिल्में साथ में आ गई सिनेमा में, तो वो कैसे प्रेशर हैंडल करेंगे?
If there's a good script, then I won't have no pressure. It'll be awesome. You'll see me yelling as well.
पलोमा जी, आपका फेवरेट हीरो मेल फीमेल जिससे आप बहुत इंस्पायर्ड, जिनकी आप बहुत फिल्में देखती हैं, ऑन योर लेफ्ट. हाय.
See, I get inspired, you said?
Yes.
I think I liked what Rajveer said a lot, yeah, that your inspiration keeps changing all the time. You know, you can be inspired by everybody in some way.
All right, we'll take 2 more questions.
Hi Rajveer. Hi. So the trailer is beautiful, and so as we saw in the trailer, it says that it talks about a special destination. So I would like to ask all 3 of you that what is a special destination for you guys?
My nanny's house. Can't get enough of it.
Rajveer, either side. Rajveer, you've been thrown out to the world now. How would you take the challenges and make it into opportunities?
I think it's important to work on yourself non-stop. You're always learning something, and you can't avoid mistakes because we never made any. So you never know what a mistake is till you make one. And for opportunities, I think your work speaks for yourself. If I'm good and consistent in my work, opportunities will be created. That's all secondary, I think. I think you should really work on your craft. Because right now I may look good, but if I'm 60 and 70 and I'm old, I got to better be a good actor. Looks don't carry you. It's your craft. So yeah, that's what I would say. I would say work creates opportunity. Your work will create opportunity if you're good.
Avnish, Rajveer is always on your left, yeah. Rajveer is always known for his music acting, you know. तो आपके पर में कितना प्रेशर था कि एक स्टोरी तो अच्छी कहनी है, इसके साथ साथ म्यूजिक भी बहुत ही अच्छा देना है. शंकर एहसान लॉय लाइक यू नो, मतलब आपने उनको क्यों चुना है? What was it like? First time.
जी नहीं बिल्कुल. This was always supposed to be a lovely musical film. हमारे 8 गाने हैं इस फिल्म में, and it was wonderful to work with Shankar Ehsan Loy. Ehsan sir is here, and Irshad Kamil ji. I was very blessed to work with them, and they've given us an outstanding album. Iska title song is already becoming popular. Arman is here. He sung it so well for us, and I really hope that everyone loves the album and appreciates it.